Northeast, structures, bridges are designed as well for earthquakes.
Well, and it's one of those, it's fascinating how they, because all buildings, when they're very tall, they would sway, and you would feel nauseous if you were on the upper floors of a building. So you're designing for, obviously, structural integrity, but so people don't feel the sway, even just in a normal, with like the winds and just the normal course of life in action. What do they do? Some buildings, I think there's one that has like water in it to compensate for it. What are we doing when we're designing buildings here so that we don't really even feel it in a high office building?
Well, if it's a tall building, tall enough building, you will use what they call tuned mass dampers. That's what what you were referring to when you said they'll put water, or it could be oil as well, or some form of liquid that will sway opposite to the direction that the building wants to go, and therefore dampen the movement of the building. So that is done frequently for very tall buildings. For mid-rise buildings, you typically will not feel nauseous, even in wind situations or earthquake situations.
I did not. It's in New Jersey.
The code also
Allegedly, it's a pretty light earthquake.
Lateral sway or movement that the building can undergo. So that means we'll stiffen up the materials, the detailing of the connections, the detailing of the materials, and all of that comes into play in trying to mitigate that.
Okay. And when it comes to whether you're in a building or whether you're in your home, a lot of people are saying, I didn't know what to do. I ran outside. I didn't know where I could be that was safe. In your opinion, where would be a safe place to stand or wait until it subsides?
I mean, if I had an earthquake happening in my building, I'll run out of the building.
There you go.
I'll run out of the building if I can.
We got a few people in the chat that are from New Jersey.
But again, this is
I think George Daly is from the area.
And so I don't expect that any major
You got the Turtle Riders coming after me, Bal? You got to ask Rights on what's happened? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
That has on reinforcements.
Rights on in chat?
Way back that did not consider earthquake. Remember, the heavier
not an earthquake controller, let one loose.
It's going to be affected by earthquake.
And more so than just the buildings we're speaking of here.
Ooh, 4.8 fart.
Transit were out there looking at the area bridges and tracks as well. Just over the years, I know the rain
destroyed all of New Jersey. That's funny.
The grounds had nothing to do with
I'm sure a controller won't appreciate
even
that.
Even just the wet grounds, could that play a factor with shifting of the bridges or power lines or tracks?
I don't know about the range themselves, because those are all factored in when we design.
They're talking about maybe damage to infrastructure and mass transit systems.
In that area. So I'm not certain that would impact the structure as a result of the rains, because it's normal.
Tom CPU wants to put you on jail and claims you're not a veteran. Got crazy.
You could be in the East Coast.
Lows.
Your soil is so bad, it could be like you are in the West Coast when you design for earthquake. That means that the forces you're going to design for might be quite high.
Wait, what? Where did this happen at?
Might be quite stringent, as though you were living in California, depending on the type of soil that you have. So all of that, we do consider that when we design.
Is there a clip I can watch, Jack Ripper?
Thank you so much.
We appreciate your insight, Dr. Abi, joining us, Professor of Structural Engineering from Drexel.
And now we have the Governor of New York, Governor Hochul, speaking now.
Explain the difference, but that's why we're going to continue
Global
to
warming.
take this very seriously and make sure that we continue to update all New Yorkers. So Catherine Garcia, our head of state operations, you'll hear from first, and then Commissioner Jackie Bray, head of Homeland Security.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. I want to reiterate that we have no reports of damage at this time. And that immediately all of the infrastructure agencies activated their policies and procedures to deal with this, because while highly unusual in the state of New York, we do actually have fault lines. This was significantly bigger than ones that are typically felt in the state of New York or occur and actually are not felt. That is because earthquakes happen on a logarithmic scale, which means that a 3.0 is 10 times worse than a 2.0. So a 4.0 is 10 times easier than a 5.0. So every one of those makes a significant difference in what you will experience and what the damage could be.
Okay. I didn't know that.
In addition, we are also tracking whether or not there's any increase in hospitalizations, as well as whether or not there's any increase in vehicle accidents that has not been reported at this time. Thank you.
Commissioner Bray?
Not much to add about the governor and Director Garcia covered it. I would say
you're turning into agenda free bout. I wish, man. I wish I had his kind of following and revenue. He's killing it. You're talking about Luckner, right? Or what's his name? I used to we used to restream him. He's fucking killing it, man. Caused by all those obese immigrants, women breaking into my country. Damn, bro, savage.
And reports that come in. We've seen one gas leak in Rockland County, but other than that, there don't seem yet to be major infrastructure impacts. But we are in touch with the counties. We'll stay in touch with the counties all day. Thank you.
All right, let's do some on-topic questions. Governor, has there been any contact with the Indian Point facility in Westchester and any concerns there?
That's part of our analysis of all critically important infrastructure. So yes, the communication has gone out, correct?
Yeah, we're in constant touch with both that facility and our other facilities. There's no damage reported at Indian Point. We wouldn't expect damage at this time, and we're in touch with Westchester, and we'll stay in touch with Westchester.
Governor, can you just say what you were doing at the time that it hit, and what you felt and what was going on?
No surprise to anybody here in the Capitol. I was meeting with my senior team, talking about their late night working on the budget.
I'm not Jewy enough.
Talking about how we're going to move the budget forward today. So literally sat in the room next door. People felt different degrees of movement in the room, surprising, and all of a sudden everybody's cell phones start lighting up and describing what it was. So we were literally right here working on the budget. And
why was Bauer no show at Karen Reed's trial? It's that scene's played out, man. I think Karen Reed's played out. Like that scene's played out. It's like the same 10 people, 30 people, 20 people. I think there's several federal agents that's involved in the whole thing. I think Tom is just there to cause division and spread false information. And I got warrants, so.
Once in a
It's just
lifetime
played out.
housing package may be the only excitement event we expected this week. So this was rather unanticipated. You cannot plan for this.
Hell yeah,
There's no
Pac. I was
early
watching
warnings.
that
Service that can tell you
stream
an
in the
earthquake
background
is
for a little
imminent,
bit.
and that's why everybody was caught off guard. But fortunately, here in the state of New York, we are masters of disasters. We know how to handle this from unexpected snowstorms.
The
just a couple
sign
days ago.
language lady
Everybody's
sus.
anticipating massive crowds for another
Let me get this
celestial
chat out
event
of her
on Monday
face.
with the total eclipse pathway going through large parts of our state. So my point is, we're always ready. We have planning in place for all of our teams activate instantaneously, and I feel very comfortable about that. But again, these are emerging situations. It could be over.
You claim you're in it till the end.
Effect.
I wasn't getting paid, man. Like the last time I went there, I lost money. Like it cost me quite a bit of money to get out there last time, and I didn't get. I mean, I got a few TTSs, but not enough to make it worth my while. I wasn't getting paid, so.
You have to be prepared for that and warn you.
Like I can't continue to do things that was costing me money. It's just.
Everything's
expensive these days. I gotta reconsider all that.
Governor,
I gotta consider all that.
Has analyzed the aftershock forecast. What do they show? What should we anticipate?
Commissioner Bray, the former head of one of the heads of the National Weather Service, is this something you can predict?
No, we don't predict. We don't predict. The aftershocks aren't predictable, and so obviously we'll monitor USGS's information, but we're not looking at, these aren't forecastable events.
Governor, one more on the ground stop at JFK.
I don't have that Turtle Rider money, you know.
We just spoke to them.
Turtle Boy raised like 120 grand already.
What they're doing is confirming that the air traffic towers are safe to operate in. So as soon as we know, we'll make sure that.
I'm like jumping up and down for a $200 stream. You know what I mean?
Not LaGuardia. Why not LaGuardia? Because they've redone they have a more recent. Y'all let Catherine explain.
We're getting more information, but we suspect it is because they were renovated more recently and meet higher standards.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Once again, we heard from New York Governor Kathy Hochul right there, along with the federal agencies updating at least on the situation in New York. And the reason being is because the earthquake happened North Jersey, closer to New York. She's in constant communications with New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy. You had mentioned, or
your house shook. Your foundation might be fucked, man.
Regarding the airports and New York,
your whole house might crumble, man. You might want to call your insurance company.
They did not have any type of ground stoppage. They are operating at this time. So is Newark and JFK as well. They had a brief ground stoppage. All right, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here.
Is the earth starting to open up, man?
Ground stoppage here about 20 minutes ago to assess the situation, but right now they are operating. They have arrivals and departures on time.
Think about this. Think about this. This will really fuck your head up. If the Earth is a sphere going round and round and round and round and round, how do earthquakes work?
of transit, PATCO, New Jersey Transit, Amtrak, they're all, inspecting the railways and making sure the bridges are okay. And so some are operating on a delay. PATCO fully suspended. So we'll keep you updated on that. But as you can see, they are checking and inspecting just to make sure everything is running fine. Okay, so now we've been talking about how this earthquake is centered in Lebanon, New Jersey. Well, now we have the mayor of Lebanon is on the phone with us.
You got that mayor's here?
Good afternoon.
Hi, how you doing?
Well, how are you doing is the question. I mean, everyone's talking about Lebanon. How are things there?
It's funny. I'm just sitting in Borough Hall with the administrator and the deputy clerk, and we're still all a little shaken up, even though it's,
There's a town called Tewksbury?
It's just such a crazy experience. I was working from my home office and, just felt a shake like I've never felt before. And I was having some work done outside. I rushed outside, and I thought that the guys had done something, and they were just as shaken up as me.
Yeah, Mayor.
This is the end, my only friend, the end.
Helicopter, a heavy truck passing
Invest in
by.
Bad Magic Coffee.
I know here in Philadelphia, we felt the initial 4.8, but closer to the epicenter where you are, did you feel any aftershocks?
I haven't felt any aftershocks yet. Myself, I haven't heard of anything.
The earth is growing?
But, in my own personal house, like I said, there was a lot of shaking and things knocked off the shelves, and pictures come off the wall. So it definitely was a pretty good shake.
Do you have any reports of any damage just yet?
We don't now. We have the fire department going street by street, checking things out. The state police have just pulled into the lot, so everybody's out just checking, and we're just fielding a lot of phone calls.
Of course, it'd be in Lebanon.
Residents that were shaken up.
Mayor, we often talk about preparing. I know this is something that you certainly can't predict, but once you have an earthquake, a 4.8 earthquake, what are the next steps? How do you deploy crews, and where do you go?
Yeah, exactly. We're going through that right now. I mean, we're pretty lucky, even though we're a small town out in Hunterdon County. We have a pretty good OEM group that's
I just got a text message from one of the viewers that was like experienced the earthquake.
Preparation, I think, is the key. So
let me text him back real quick.
Can you tell us
Should I invite him on panel
for some of us
so they can give us their first-hand account of what happened?
Visit the hamlet there. What's your town like? You got put on the map today by an earthquake. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's a very small community in Hunterdon County.
Chile has a hearing today? Yeah, I believe so. An appeals, a bond after sentencing bond hearing or some shit like that.
Relatively, a young town, relatively speaking, for some of the other towns out here in New Jersey, but just a really close-knit community. Like I said, that's why everybody feels comfortable calling and stopping into Borough Hall just to see what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, yo, thank you, man. Let's go.
Oh my God! I'm scared to death!
The gift that keeps on giving.
Flat Earth earthquake shook the Chili Bowl. Now it's broken. Bad Badger Studio 10 toes to the ground. Badger, La Rata, raised fist, rat.
Thank you, man. Here, I'm gonna send him the panel link. Here, all right, tell us what happened. You were in the earthquake. Tell us what happened here.
Hello, people.
You can look at me. What'd you see?
Okay, well, I'm a witness here. What I seen was a horrible, tragic situation. The guy was coming down, and I guess the police was trying to do a stop point. The man said, no, not today, and they began to race behind each other like cats and dogs. The police officer got behind the man and started going so fast, his car spit out of control. Girl, he hit the pole. His head went to one side, and his body went to the other side, and this is the result. Lord be with this young man. He need a blessing.
So where were you when this happened?
Well, ma'am, I was actually going to buy me a piece of burger from Burger King, and I just stopped right in the middle because my hunger just went away. Because when I seen that accident, girl, I just began to be nosy, and I just had to just understand that somebody was experiencing this difficulty moment that was just not. Ma'am, I just cannot bear to continue to talk because it's just
tell me what you saw. Did the police? Who hit
what I think was that
well, I like that clip.
Thank you.
So we've been checking in. We have folks in different parts of the area. We want to get out to Ellen because we're talking about the reaction in schools.
These people have actual witnesses instead of fucking Tornado Girl, so let's watch these people instead.
Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, imagine being a child in an elementary school. Well, we just came
In
from
elementary
Bear
school,
Walk,
alright, I
an
can imagine that,
elementary school
alright.
here in
All
South
right,
Philly.
I'm playing
And
with
let me tell you,
crayons,
we talked to
alright.
parents,
I'm eating
teachers, the
snacks.
dean of
I'm
students,
fucking,
even a
what,
child,
I'm
and
checking
they
out
said they had no
bitches.
idea, as you can imagine, what was going on.
What am I
And they
doing?
were
I'm fucking
scared. They had no
drawing
idea that they
shit.
never
I'm
expected a
gluing stuff.
4.7 magnitude
I
earthquake
think I'm
to
putting
hit
glue
this
on a
area.
piece of
And
construction
especially on
paper.
the second
I'm
and
throwing
third
glitter
floor,
on it.
that's where everything really was shaking. And they said, you know, the kids had no idea. They were really nervous, had no idea. They were asking the teachers, what's going on? So some of the students, some of the older students, it's a K through 8 school, they were taking it as an active shooter situation, and they actually got under the desk. Not all
Chili's
of the
hearing is
kids,
going
but some
live
of the older kids.
here in
And then when they figured out it was not an active
a
shooter,
minute
thank
maybe.
goodness, they realized it was an earthquake. Then they tried to make it fun. They tried to joke about it, tried to reassure all the kids.
They tried to
And so
joke
the
about
teacher
it.
said that's what they tried to do. And then after we talked to some of those
They
parents,
joked about earthquakes.
another principal came just out of nowhere. She came over to us from another school, their charter school, and she said they tried to make it a real teaching moment. She said they then turned it into a lesson about earthquakes. So everybody is trying to handle it in their own way, but she said they were very nervous, very scared. Nobody really knew what was going on. But the one little girl, a little kindergartner, told me,
Sounds like your
said, I
childhood.
didn't feel a thing. I was on the first floor. She said, what does an earthquake feel like? She was having a little exchange with her grandmom. So again, everyone's just really trying to process it. They're trying to figure out what happened, but the kids are really taking it in stride. But it was
Wait,
very
what?
scary, as you can imagine, during that time.
What does that
They
even
said it
mean? How
happened
can you even
about
take
2
an
minutes,
earthquake
they
in
tell the
strides?
kids
I don't
at
get
Bear Elementary,
what that
and
means.
the kids were just freaking out is the word that they were all using. But again, everybody's safe, and that's
The
what's
kids are
most
taking the
important, as you
earthquake
all
in
know.
strides.
Absolutely. Ellen, thank you.
And once again, the school district's doing such a great job just communicating with parents. We just want to update you. All of the airports out of New York are operating on time, on schedule here. There was a
Yeah, the
ground
airports are fine.
stoppage earlier at 2 of the airports, with the exception of LaGuardia and some of the regional airports. And Patco as well. Train service between all of the NJ New Jersey stations has resumed, and this was out of a precaution. They did bridge and track inspections.
Is that an O-Tech
earlier,
bridge?
so
Possibly.
there was about a 20-minute delay, but right
That
now
was an old
Patco
bridge.
and NJ Transit on schedule.
Okay, and so
Okay.
Once again, if you're just joining us, there was a 4.8 earthquake that struck just north of Lebanon, New Jersey. It was about 10:20
The earthquake
this
lasted
morning.
20
We talked about the
seconds.
school districts. Let's get out to it. This is the Garnet Valley School District. I know you did a great job.
Did you
as
see
well.
Here's the
Parents
Deal
were
and Artie
calling
Debate? I
in,
did not. I
students
did
were,
not.
Unnerved as
I
well.
missed that.
What can you tell us about that moment when the earthquake struck? Good morning.
Is that a good watch?
Good morning,
Should I watch it?
how's everybody? So it's been kind of a crazy week anyway, with all the rain and getting ready for the eclipse. So when everybody felt the rumble, it definitely got our attention. But we're all safe and have something fun to talk about today.
Wait, that's fun to talk about?
What exactly did you feel
How is it fun to talk about? Are there more earthquakes coming?
Because I'm fascinated by that. But what exactly did you feel personally?
Is it a coincidence that the Department of Homeland Security is in or is actively involved in this situation, but they're also investigating P. Diddy? Is that a coincidence?
Personally, I was at one of our elementary.
What does earthquakes have to do with P. Diddy?
Much of anything. It was our middle school that really felt it the most, especially on their second floor. So our middle school principal reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you getting phone calls?" And I said, "About what?" And she said, "We just had an earthquake." I said, "We have not."
It's a long watch, 38 minutes. We can probably make it happen in what, 15 plus 9? 26 minutes? No, 29 minutes, right? No, 19 minutes. 19 minutes. I'm tripping. My math is off. 19 minutes, we can probably make it happen, yeah? If we can get the 2x going.
I went immediately to my phone, and sure enough, I saw that we had like a 4.8.
Tripping on my math.
And then both of us thought it would be a good
It's
idea
15 and
to
4.
just send something out to the community to make sure that all the parents knew that we were safe.
Yeah, I know you have scenarios for just about every situation. What is the protocol for an earthquake?
Well, obviously we don't experience too many of them, so really they happen so quickly and without notice. We just call all of our schools, make sure that everybody's safe, make sure structurally.
Chili's hearing isn't till the 10th? I see.
Integrity,
Let me double check.
And then we move on with our day. And, one of the things that we have to recognize, schools are like society in general. So you have some people that are a little nervous, and it's always good to reassure those people and make
Yeah,
everyone
schedule on
aware
the
that
10th.
we're all safe and nothing to worry about.
And communication is so important. I know the parents really appreciate you sending out that message.
That's what it
the
says.
Voice alert to them. My question also is, I'm just really curious.
After the
We have
eclipse.
obviously this big eclipse coverage that we're going to be doing on Monday. What's your district's plan? Are you guys going to be dismissing early or late, or just not doing anything different with the kids getting out during the eclipse itself?
Not really anything different with dismissals. Our parents, if they want, to put in an early dismissal for their child or excuse their child from school, that's certainly allowed. But we did provide.
There's quite a bit of stuff going on. There's quite a bit of stuff going on in the financial sector.
As well.
There's lots of stuff going on. It's a busy world, yeah.
On the bus or on their way home.
Where do you get that info? It's on here. It's on this channel right here, Michelle. If you click on this channel right here, they got a live feed schedule for
are approved. We talk about not
the
looking
10th.
directly into the sky unless you have your glasses on and those kinds of things.
If you click on their live, they got a hearing schedule on the 10th.
And we delayed the start of our athletic contests at the high school level until.
You don't think this is content, Range Horse? I think this is good content right here.
I just think it's so
I mean, we can watch some other shit, but
like, of course you're gonna
I mean, I guess we can watch Artie and fucking Brian
happening in the sky.
talk about it. C-Dubs wants to bury the hatchet with James Freeman. And he also said he wanted to help DirectD raise like 140 grand or some shit like that to give to the state. I told C-Dubs DirectD is a scammer and a felon. Both of those things are factual.
Big event on Monday, but getting back to the events of the day, you talked about business as usual, getting along with the school day. Have you had any parents show up wanting to maybe
I was in C-Dubs' chat scallywagging a little bit.
No.
C-Dubs wants to come on panel, but man, my goddamn audio is so fucked every time I have someone on panel. Was the audio okay the last time I had someone on panel? I think it was Freeman I had on panel. My audio was all scuffed.
In our communication, everybody just has something fun to talk about today.
Yeah, I bet they do.
What I also said, what a great month to be a science teacher with the eclipse, earthquake, all the rain. So it's interesting in our schools right now.
Well, Dr. Bertrando, we always appreciate you. You're always so helpful.
We need to get AFA here for content. According to Freeman, according to what Freeman told me on the stream, AFA hates me. So.
What's going on in our schools? Thanks.
And I think he hates me. The reason he claims that he hates, or the reason that he's claiming the reason he hates me when I say he AFA is because I called him a rapist on the internet or some shit like that. I think, according to Freeman. But I don't believe Freeman. I think Freeman is trying to set me up, man, to try to pin people against me.
Thank you so much for spending the time.
Let you get back to your day now.
Oh my God, you need C-Dubs on panel. If you, he wants to come on panel tonight. I told him maybe him and Freeman can hash it out. Maybe you gotta get Freeman on panel and they can work out whatever problems they have. I don't even think Freeman knows who C-Dubs is. Like, I think I'm the only one that knows C-Dubs, Ranger Horse, and Michelle. Oh yeah, and Mass Exposure. So, like, I think outside of that, I don't think anyone knows who C-Dubs is.
All right, back to the Weather Center, Drew.
So here's something that just popped up on our weather graphics. They're automatic, so they get some of the latest information. It just popped up here.
That's a heavy allegation. I told Freeman, man, I don't remember calling him a rapist. Like, I recall maybe one time someone in the chats might have said something about rape, right? And I might have pandered to the chats, But that's what I do, man. I pander to the chats. I'm a chat panderer. But I don't think I've ever, like to his face said, hey, man, you're a rapist. And I don't actively go about my life continuing to claim it, right? He's claiming that I claimed that maybe once back in the day somewhere, right? Right? I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Our weather graphic of a magnitude 2.0 earthquake in the same area. I wouldn't report yet that it happened, and I'll tell you why. We want to see it come down from the USGS before we would say that, but our graphic systems...
I get in my stream every day, and every day I was like, yo, this nigga is a rapist. I would get, you could be upset about that, right? I would be upset too if someone called me a rapist every day,
So, for example, when we have a severe thunderstorm warning, it comes to our graphic systems first, then the reports come out. So this little red dot has just popped up when we were talking to...
Yeah, I might have just read the chat out loud or some shit like
just a
that,
moment
man.
ago. And so this is something I'm watching.
Allegedly, according to the stream I did with Freeman, he's got footages of it that he keeps watching over and over or something. Because Freeman said, man, I thought I hashed it out, and then he went and reviewed some footages, and he came back and told me no. Was what I recall, I think Freeman said. I don't fucking know, man. I don't even care at this point, man. There's a huge earthquake going on, man. The earth is fucking, you know, doing all sorts of stuff, man.
I just pulled up a seismograph that's nearby, and just a couple minutes ago, there was a little
There's a
bit of
seismograph
there.
going on.
I'm still keeping an eye on USGS. This is United States Geological Survey, to see if they reported any new earthquakes. Until they report it, this is unconfirmed. So we're going to keep an eye on USGS for a potential aftershock that may have just happened of a much lower magnitude. At 2.0, you know, you really just feel the shaking.
Yeah, I want to see the footages that got reviewed, man. Shit. That'll be some good footages.
And you start getting that when you start getting higher magnitude, like the 4.8 we had. When you start getting on the lower end of, let's say, a 2 or 2.5, you know, it's really just shaking. And less than that, you don't even notice it. You don't even notice the shaking. In that area of Hunterdon County, this is a map from last month. There actually was an earthquake at 2.2, but you didn't hear about it because 2.2, you know, once you felt a little shake around your home in that area.
Basically, Gooby says, I honestly thought AFA was a trans man. Well, I could be wrong. What say you?
These different shapes are greater, and that's indicated by higher
You know how I be pandering to the chats, man. You know.
In more places around the country. So I'm just going to refresh here. The USGS, these are the folks that it's an entity of our government that monitor things. It's the equivalent of like a National Weather Service when it comes to earthquakes. And as of now, they haven't reported any aftershocks. We're going to keep an eye on there for any updated info. In the meantime, we're talking about that earthquake that happened just in the very northeastern tip of Hunterdon County, and it's just right across from the Lehigh Valley. If you're not familiar with that area, and it's north of the community of Lebanon. So the actual epicenter, the spot where the shaking originated, it's north of the community, but the community is the closest location that folks would know. So that's why it's labeled that is as Lebanon. A couple other things of note that's pretty interesting is we actually have faults in this area. Faults cause earthquakes. Take a look at that map right there. Actually, let's swing over to our computer and get a better look at it. So what you're seeing there is a long crack in the rocks extending from Pennsylvania and into New Jersey. See that yellow right there? That is the fault where we have shaking. So it's not uncommon to see earthquakes there. This map shows you that we get earthquakes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Just oftentimes they're of a low magnitude. So that's to check the latest information coming into the Weather Center. I'm going to keep an eye out to see if that aftershock is indeed confirmed.
All right, Drew, as soon as you do, give us a word. Want to head back outside. Mike is downtown near City Hall. What are you seeing, Mike?
Well, we just saw a guy get loaded in an ambulance. He looked over at me and waved.
The earthquake was caused by climate change.
During that quake, it kind of upset him to the point he felt like he needed to go.
Yo, is that a person in a suit?
It's good to see you. Remind everybody who you are. Jared Golston with the mayor's office here. Excited to
hey there, buddy.
Safe in Philadelphia with economic opportunities for all. Getting that plug in. What floor were you on? We were on the first floor, so I felt it a lot. So we were in the mayor's suite. We felt the floor move. My mother called immediately, and we heard something over the loudspeaker say, "Nobody move, no one leave. You know, stay where you are." And ran out of the building. No. But economic, they did the protocols that they were supposed to. And everyone was safe inside the city hall. Again, just excited to be there. Mayor's okay. Everyone's good. Awesome. But the mayor was in there. We're unclear exactly where she was, but her whole office and her support team was absolutely okay. Everybody's okay. Yep. And the building was evacuated for a little while, but everybody is back in there now. That's exactly right. Nothing fell. We didn't see anything because this is a full concrete building, City Hall. Excited to be here in historic Philadelphia, so we were good. Good to see you, man. It's so great. That's all right. I'm such a huge fan. Thank you. Come on the show anytime. I appreciate it. Okay, y'all take care. Yeah. And again, the guy that they loaded into the ambulance, he gave me the old thumbs up. You know, I'm okay. Just shook up. Maybe it was his first earthquake. For a lot of us, it was a first, I'm sure. Okay, guys.
Yeah, just real quick on a personal level. I know you're still talking to people that are coming up to you out there.
Who Discord picks?
What was your first experience like with an earthquake? I was out in California.
Hell yeah.
I experienced a number of them.
I went through two really heavy.
I think I might have seen it at some point, man.
When I-10 collapsed, remember that? And my apartment was everything on this side of the apartment was the other side of the apartment, and vice versa. It was a Sunday morning, and I sleep in the nude. So the whole apartment's shaking. Oh my God!
It might be on one of my old devices.
Yeah, it's really hard to describe to people, right?
When I had Discord and I was scallywagging.
Shit.
San
Francisco that was really horrible in 1989. I was working at a TV station.
I might make my comeback to Discord shit.
The marina caught on fire. It was horrible.
No, the thing I hate about Discord, man, is when you get a server that's full of drama, man, and you want to rebroadcast it, they get all mad. They're like, oh, we'll air out our drama in this public server, but we won't do it on YouTube. It's so weird, man. It's such a weird environment. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, like you're talking to random people, arguing with them. But if someone streams it, it's not okay somehow. Like that shit was just so bizarre to me, man. But I digress.
Back and forth. A lot of times when I had earthquake experience in Southern California, it was like somebody took a big fist and punched it against your house. So it would be a jolt, and then that was it. Those weren't so bad. It was ones that just kept on going for 30 seconds. Oh my God, this is it. The house is coming down. And then it stops. But the earthquakes, I think, are the scariest.
You keep forgetting to unsub. Yeah. Hell yeah.
You saw today how quickly it
Let's
happened.
go.
We're walking around during earthquake. So it's one of the scariest Mother Nature things.
We're hearing all the stories coming in, Mike. We appreciate it. A lot of people driving, a lot of people at work, a lot of people at home. Certainly share your comments as well on social media. Mike still asking people if they felt it. A lot did. Others who were working did not feel it. This
is what they want the masses to know about right now.
Science is great to have you with us this afternoon. If you can, take us back, because I know a lot of people are asking that question. What exactly happened? We know it was an earthquake, but what happened with the grounds at 1020?
So my experience of the event was I was in a classroom
Henderson?
on the floor of Uri Hall,
Huntington?
and it started shaking. In that space, it actually felt like an unusually heavy truck, or you might feel like for construction, but it went on and built a little bit and went on longer than you expect for that. And of course, that's one of the important things about earthquakes is both how strongly it shakes and how long it shakes. That has a big effect on the outcomes of an earthquake.
So what do you do in an earthquake? We don't know.
What do you do in an earthquake?
A section of a building, like a stairwell. What are you supposed to do?
So it really depends on the situation you're in. The first thing is put on shoes if you don't have shoes on. the biggest hazard with an earthquake is falling objects. So
Oh man wants
you need
everyone
assess
to know he
whether or not
sleeps
the
nude.
building that you're in is going
Yeah.
to be strong. And if you
Yeah.
can, it is quite reasonable to go outside, but you need to be able to go someplace that is far
What's
away
happening that they don't
from
want to know about? Ah, what's
buildings
happening,
that
man?
might
What's happening
fall
right now?
down. So in other words, if you're on a building, you might want to go out
There's a new
to
stable
park.
coin being launched.
Otherwise, holding in
So
place is not a bad strategy until the shaking
there's
stops.
what?
And
15
then
days until
good
Bitcoin
practice
halving?
is to assess, how strong the earthquake was and whether or not there was damage to the building, and then make a decision about exiting the
There's
building
talks
or
of
not.
trillions of
Considering
dollars
not to
moving
put you
back
on
and
the
forth.
spot, is this, I understand this is the strongest earthquake in New Jersey since 1973. Is that correct? Do you know?
I don't know the exact answer to when the last earthquake of that magnitude was, although I can say that earthquakes of that magnitude are not uncommon. We expect them geologically as long as we look over longest periods of time. It's just that the times tend to be a little bit longer than we're used to in a human time scale.
Doctor, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. It's a great time to be teaching earth and environmental science right now with everything that's been going on. Thanks for your time.
Certainly do appreciate it. Let's head back up to New York. The mayor of New York spoke just a moment ago.
You got his big ass bag of golden teacher?
Government agencies.
Freeze dried?
Listen in.
Call 311. That is the best place to refer those needs. If you have a life safety issue,
What do you guys think they used to
please
cause the
use
shaky
and
shake?
Call 911 immediately, but preserve 911 for those life
That's a good
safety
question.
events.
What did they use to cause the
team
shaky
acted
shake?
immediately. We convened our emergency response teams and issued guidance to the public. The likelihood of aftershocks remain low. But we do remain vigilant, and we ask all New Yorkers to remain vigilant as well. We activated our protocols for this earthquake. We immediately started
Watch out for the fake
coordinating
hand
with all
signs.
city, state, federal, and our utility partners. Public notifications were sent out both by Notify NYC and our wireless emergency alert system.
Is it in the path of the eclipse? I don't know. That's a good question. It's in
that have been issued.
Lebanon, New Jersey.
As soon as it happened, we convened here at New York City Emergency Management in order to be able to send out guidance. We activated, as soon as it happened, we convened here at NYSEM to send out our guidance for what happens during an earthquake, including on the possibility of aftershocks. We contacted our city hall and agency commissioners, as well as all of our partners at the federal and state level. That also includes all of our utility partners, our transportation partners at the MTA, Port Authority, and the airports. While there is a low likelihood that there will be aftershocks, we always want to be on the safe side. So if you are outside during an aftershock, please move to an open area away from buildings, trees, and power lines. If you are driving, pull over to a safe location. We're asking people to check in on their relatives, on their loved ones, neighbors, especially the children and their other individuals. I think that this is also an incredible time just to remind us all.
You took a gram last night?
So if you are a New Yorker, if you're visiting New York, we encourage you to sign up for Notify NYC. This is available in 14 languages, including American Sign Language, over 1 million subscribers. You can sign up
90
by
billion
calling 311.
annually?
You can call up by downloading the app or by going to nyc.gov/notify. We also encourage people to make sure that they have an emergency kit and to make sure that they know the guidance for earthquakes, which, as the mayor said, to drop, cover, and to get under furniture, sturdy furniture, or in a doorway to make sure that you are safe. Please also make sure that you're checking your utilities, that you know how to turn them on and off, especially if you are a property owner. With that said, who am I turning it over to? Chancellor Banks. Chancellor Banks. I'll turn it over to Chancellor Banks for an update on the schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
The guy's a goddamn
The
chancellor.
reason why we're dipping in, you heard from the governor a short
Hey
time
there,
ago,
buddy.
and then the mayor and government officials, is because this earthquake happened closer to New York, and that's why they immediately shut down 2 of the 3 major airports to assess the damage there. So we're just checking in with the mayor and the governor to see what's happening in New York, but closer here at home, we also felt it.
Let's get out to Hank right now and see what people are saying. And where are you now, Hank?
Ooh, Hank.
Well, I moved to 8th and Market, guys. It's the Linden, among other things, it's the Lindenwold line of the Patco line into New Jersey, and I thought I'd come over here because I thought we might get a little bit of the blowback from when they were stopped for a few minutes precautionary. They're back in business now, as we know, guys, but literally no problems here at 8th and Market, at least as far as the Patco station is concerned. The woman who's up here and has been preaching all morning long hasn't taken a break as far as I know, so she apparently didn't feel it.
Floyd had a live stream that said feeding the homeless in Medellin, and that video is not available anymore.
You mind talking to me about it? I'm Hank with Fox 29. What did you feel? Talk to me real quick.
Actually shook.
The house shook.
Yeah, and
now,
I called my son. I'm in Jersey. I live in Camden.
Ooh, so you're closer than we were. When the house
He's from New Jersey or whatever. I thought he has a place in Miami. I see him in Florida for some reason.
It reminded me of 2/11 when we had the last earthquake.
2/11?
Yeah.
Back up what?
You back up.
Back? Huh? Is she your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you feel the earthquake too? What is going on? What just happened?
I don't know. I don't know her.
Okay, she just told you to back away from you.
I'm not super.
Do you know her?
Not at all. Wow, not at all.
People got earthquake fever, man.
Back up.
2011 when we had the last earthquake.
Yeah. Well, it reminded you of the last one. You felt that one too?
Yep.
What a cunt.
At this point,
Yeah, Taiwan had one a few days ago, I believe.
Both times I was getting in the shower and the house.
Getting in the shower. So that's a real compromised place. Because then y'all butt naked and the house starts shaking. Now what? All right, I'm going to leave you be. Crazy.
That made you LOL, Anna? How's that guy the goddamn chancellor?
She said she had utterly no complaints of any damage at all. Sir, did you feel this earthquake? Talk to me a little bit.
Yeah, man, I felt some motherfucking earthquake. Yeah, that motherfucker shook.
What did you feel? Take me through that moment. Like you were what, walking down the street?
Yeah, just a little shake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel it that much, but I felt it just a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I felt that motherfucker, man, you know.
Did it register to you? You thinking maybe it's a bus? You thinking this is an earthquake?
I thought it was a train.
Okay, see, that's the thing about being in the city and being a Philly guy, though. We do bump around a little bit. So the bus goes by, we feel it shake, you know. So little shakes and tremors here in the city don't mean the same thing that maybe they do out in the country, right?
You're right about that.
All right. Well, Mark, it was good talking to you, man. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad we all are, at least as far as I know. Knock on wood. Hopefully, guys, as a day or so passes, we'll find out we all got through it just fine.
Thank you, man.
Oh my God! I'm scared to death! Oh my God!
For you to hold for killer. No scam.
How come they why did they not allow the word chili? How come it
Stop!
Why did chili get
Oh my God! I'm scared to death! Oh my God!
For you to hold for killer. No scam.
Why does it say killer? Why did it say killer?
Running again, so that's the good news. So that was only short delay.
Thank you, man.
Paco's back running. Let's go find a location a little quieter, maybe. Yeah.
Well, if anything we've learned today, it is quite the talker.
And we get scared when that TTS goes off. Yeah, I'll be too, man, if that shit comes out of nowhere. Ah!
Cafe in New
Fucking
Jersey.
donkey going off.
Normal right there, but in just a couple of seconds, I think you're going to see the camera move there. Okay, so this is immediately following.
Yeah, it was 10:23 is exactly when it occurred. We have to re-rack it.
So subtle. People looking around, pretty much asking like, what's going on here? But you see the moments afterwards, they kind of look around and say, was that in fact an earthquake? So you're looking at it once again.
That was it.
That was it?
It's one of those things.
That was the
You
earthquake?
certainly don't expect it. So for some people, it didn't affect them. Others, they knew right away that the ground was
We can see
shaking.
this person because you're sort of looking around, being like, "Did you feel it? I felt it. Did you feel it?" And then now they're heading outside, being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna leave. It's time for me." You know, one of those type of
And
things.
that's what we've been seeing all across the area, including here at Fox 29. Some of us felt it, others did not until we were told, even in some of the buildings downtown, especially along Market Street. A lot of the attorneys out there reached out to me and said, we didn't feel anything in the high-rise buildings here, but I know some businesses actually did let their workers who the nerves were a little too rattled to continue the day to actually leave early. But once again, looking at this video, this is from a cafe in New Jersey, the moment of the earthquake, just about 10:23, and some of the workers and customers are looking around there.
Yeah.
So it's been quite the morning. A lot of your comments are coming in. We'll read them in just a moment. Let's head back outside and get to Mike.
Yeah, I'm still, I didn't venture very far, but 2 Drexel students felt it, and they just happen to be geologists. I'm just kidding. I was hoping that's what are you studying?
Environmental science.
And you?
Computer science.
Okay, you're both going to be very smart and rich. What'd you feel?
Well, I was in bed at school, and I just felt it rumble a little.
In your dorm?
Yeah, at my dorm, on campus housing.
What do you think it was?
I thought my neighbors were like being really rowdy.
Yeah, we're roommates, so I felt the same thing.
Something happening here. Faux show. Devil Comet in play. CERN in play.
I got to beware. I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Mute rant. Hell yeah, thank you for that TTS. Ooh, devil comment. I did see that devil comment on Mr. B's stuff on his videos. No Mercy Sheep. Is that what you're talking about? Ooh, devil comment. Ooh, devil comment incoming. It was 4.8.
How come you're still asleep at 10:20?
I don't have class.
Did you get scammed? No, you didn't. It played.
I was working till midnight.
She was working, man?
Did it scare you?
What kind of college student works till midnight?
I'm from New Jersey, near the shore.
I'm from like Lansdale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We don't have these quakes very often. I mean, we have little ones. But
We got the Masters coming up this week.
Okay, here's my theory. Thank you both.
Or this next week.
Thomas.
Yes.
Did it hit at 10:20 or 10?
I'm gonna rebroadcast the Masters on Kick, and I'm probably gonna get banned on Kick. So let's see how long that lasts.
19.
It'll be lit. It'll be lit.
10:23. Isn't that when the Phillies first released the first visions of the new shirt?
It was
And really great. Graceful's new video is a good one.
Could it be
Really
a
graceful.
reaction to the shirts?
And the Fanatic came out. Could it be? I know there was mixed reaction on social media ever since it was released. Look
lot
at
of mixed
you and
reaction.
your conspiracy theories
so
right
funny.
there, Mike.
And then I did get some
I
people.
kind of like it. I like the shirt.
That's what people are saying after seeing it actually
The
being
text is
worn,
open?
says
Yeah.
Philly 369.
That's what most of the pros get used for to get ready for the Masters.
Because we hate everything new and change is hard. You don't like anything, but people are like, all right.
Yeah.
Who kicked part 3?
But I think for a lot of people,
Who kicked part 3?
So funny. And the Phillies tweeted that out. That is hysterical.
Shaking
Things up a little bit.
For
How
some
clever.
people, it was the font, and others it was the color because they associated the color with the Union. But yeah, I can see why. I think after it was released, people like it.
It's the colors of the Philadelphia flag, right? That flies above City Hall. I don't know if it's up there today.
But it almost reminds
There's
me
a live
of
double earthquake in play, man. Like these guys can get earthquake on right now. Usually there's not just one earthquake. There's like multiple earthquakes.
Yeah. Did you guys feel the earthquake?
This could be Armageddon. Like today could be Armageddon.
Where'd you feel it? 50 seconds.
Username Clash with Bow on Kick. Yeah, Clash with Bow.
No, it wasn't bad. I didn't feel it at first.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it's people running around.
Yeah, you're at school? What school?
Sitting down. West Philly High.
You
High
felt
school.
it?
Yeah, sitting down during dance.
What, about 15 seconds?
Sit down
long?
doing dance?
Yeah. You survived. You look healthy. look at you.
Are they hitting on each other?
You too.
Is this guy trying to take that kid to Pound Town?
Walking around, wandering around. We'll get back to you coming up in just a little bit. Everyone has a story where they were. Some felt it. Others did
Why is he
not.
pointing at us, man? What a fucking chalk demon.
Students, of course, we saw some kids from West Philly High, down in South Philly, Ellen Kaloje.
Hey guys, you know, we as adults were pretty shaken up
Hey
by
there,
this, right? Pun
Scally.
intended. So you can just imagine what young kids.
What's underneath all this right here, man? What she got underneath all this? Underneath this scarf and this Carmen Sandiego jacket.
Magnitude earthquake, you know, the
What's she working with, man?
felt here. You can just
Some bee stings, man. What you got down there? What you got underneath that?
And freaked out. They didn't know what was going on, so they were trying to calm the kids down. So when that hit, they were pretty freaked out. The second and third floor, especially, that's where they really felt the aftershocks. They said it went on for about 2 minutes. The kids on the first floor did not feel as much.
You watching the NCAA battle? Caitlin Clark is kicking butt. She's on fire, girl power. I'm not. I'm not watching any of the NCAAs. I don't watch a whole bunch of sports balls, to be honest.
Let's hear what they had to say.
Like I'll get into the Masters, but that's just because I'm a golf
We were
nerd.
sitting in class and the kids was getting ready for lunch, and the heater started rumbling, like really rumbling, and all our kids like started getting scared, and then all the teachers was coming out like, "Did you hear the earthquake? Did you hear the earthquake?" Everyone heard it. It rumbled the whole building.
It felt
That was
like
a nice haircut,
intense
man. I like that
shaking. I know
haircut.
the third floor, the teachers complained that it was like a heavy shaking. Some kids
is one underneath their desk, but I did let them know that if we felt more shaky, we would have brought them down to the basement. But it was like a 2-minute shake.
In the basement? That's not the best place to go into an earthquake, man. The basement can crumble on you, right?
Shaking.
I heard Miss Turner say something about it.
Yeah. But you didn't feel it?
No. I think it was at recess or something. We didn't go outside today.
No outside?
Are you glad you didn't feel it?
Not even outside?
What does an earthquake feel like?
Is it shaky?
She's like, what, man? I just want to go outside, man. I don't give a fuck about no earthquake.
So that was little Penny. She's in kindergarten, and the kindergarten kids did not really feel it because they were on the first floor, so they didn't go outside when the rest
Fucking
of the
Penny,
kids
man.
did. But they also said that some of the older kids thought it was an active shooter drill, and that's
Wait,
why they went
what?
under their desks. So thank goodness it wasn't that, right? But they said
What?
everybody was just scared for a few minutes, but they calmed them down. We also talked to a principal from a nearby charter school. She just happened to be coming here for something else, and she said they really took it as a learning experience, and they talked to the kids about earthquakes, about the environment. So everyone said after they knew what was going on and that nobody was in danger, they tried to have a little fun with it and really take it as a learning lesson. So again, everybody's fine here at Vera Washington. Everybody was amazing. The kids tried to have fun with it after the initial shock. Again, pun intended, but after the initial shock wore off. But again, wonderful people here. Back to you guys.
Teachers all across the area and administrators doing
Penny's
a
your
great
dog's
job
name?
to calm the nerves there.
Penny is also the dog's name on Inspector Gadget, right?
Sense of what's happening, and it's like something unusual happened. But now, as you said, Ellen, it's a teacher.
He sounds like a tyrant.
It's like science in action. Like you can.
Penny's the next Ann Zimmerman, man. That bitch is gonna grow up to put people like Chili in jail just because she feels like it.
Down. And I wonder if this has to do with the rain and the saturation of the ground, and perhaps with the swaying that the trees may be down.
And it also depends on the soil type, because if you have more of a loose soil, say a soil like closer down the shore, that's going to experience the shaking much more than if right underneath the ground you kind of have a heavier, more together sort of soil. Tough to see if those are two things that are synced up. We'll keep an eye out and think more about that. Certainly the ground is very wet, and that's part of the reasons we had some tree damage just the other day when we had wind gusts about 40 to 50 miles an hour. The ground was so wet, it was tough for the roots of the trees just to stay anchored in that saturated wet ground after we've been setting records for rainfall over the last couple months. On top of that, close to 3 to 5 inches of rain we just had. Whether or not the earthquake would have led to any trees being pushed down, you know, off the top of my head, I don't think that'd be the case, but we'll certainly keep an eye out.
You think the earthquake's going to be blamed on climate change there, MJE?
Here is the location of the earthquake. It's in Hunterdon County. That's right across from the Lehigh Valley, if you're not familiar with that part of New Jersey. In that part of New Jersey, there is a fault. That's a crack in the earth. In fact,
The soil's bad.
Okay. I've been looking at a map of Pennsylvania, and I'll show you
the soil is bad.
Computer, we have a lot of computers
It can really fuck some shit up.
our different conditions. What you see right here are different dots. The bigger the dot, the greater the shaking, and any dot is an earthquake. A lot of times
It's a red dot,
earthquakes
too.
in parts of Berks County, the big dot here, parts of Lancaster County.
Bigger the red dot, the better the curry.
And you can see some more dots around this region of Hunterdon County where that fault continues. It's a different fault from the one that's in Lancaster County. That yellow line you see right there is letting you know there is a crack in the
Jersey's
rock.
having its
What's
15 minutes this
interesting
year.
is Last month there was
Jersey
an
needs it,
earthquake
man.
around that region, but it was on such a lower magnitude
Magic
of
City
scale,
ain't doing it.
Most folks didn't even notice it, and that's traditionally the case when we do get earthquakes in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. There's so little that you either don't even feel it or it doesn't travel very far. Something I want to discuss is this seismograph. This is coming from Penn State Brandywine in media. This is a device that pretty much is like a pen that's hanging down, and when the earth shakes, it records. It recorded exactly when the earthquake happened, that big jump in the ground, and then the shaking, as we felt it, kind of got less and less, and then it stopped. I've been monitoring this for any aftershocks. As of right now, the USGS, that's the entity of the government that monitors earthquakes. It's similar to the National Weather Service. It stands for the United States Geological Survey. They have not reported any aftershocks. Our graphic system popped up with something. It's since taken that away, and I've not seen any recordings of any shakings in at least this seismograph reading out of Penn State Brandywine. And even though that's far away from New Jersey, it's still sensitive enough to feel things. Let's talk about why we get earthquakes in this region.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Think about that out west. Mike Jerk's been telling you all about it. Now,
I do want to talk about that a
that's
little
where
bit.
the earthquakes are much more dramatic, and I'll show you why. I got some post-it notes here for you, and here's what goes on out west. Underneath
Post-it
the ocean
notes?
is a rock plate, and then we have the rock plate we live on, the North American rock plate. What happens out west is when the two collide, the ocean one's heavier, and it goes underneath. That makes big volcanoes, and it makes big earthquakes. also out there, the faults
Post-it
are much
notes make
bigger,
earthquakes,
and they're
man.
more prone to having earthquakes when we actually get them. So in other words,
That's the
they're more
best
prone
example
to
he can. This is the
aftershocks.
best he can do.
Here's a
Two
little
things with
different.
post-it notes,
So
man. You
here's
can't
what
get a
happens
goddamn
here. Let's
diagram.
imagine these are rock plates. This is
We have to use your
present-day
goddamn
Africa. This is
imagination.
present-day North America. Back in the day when we had that one big continent of land, present-day Africa slammed into North America. Here's what happened.
Africa slammed North
The
America?
ground buckled. So the ground buckled just like that.
This is some
and
weird
it made
continental
a
gay
mountain.
sex,
The
man.
Appalachian Mountains are here because of when Africa slammed into North America, the rock plates were both the same weight, so the ground buckled. When that process happened, it left cracks in the rock plates, and those cracks, still to this day, are settling. It's much like if you ever crack your knuckles. I'm guilty of doing that myself.
It's like cracking your knuckles?
Kind of your bones releasing gases and settling. That's what happens in our region. So from all
It's
that
releasing
time ago,
gases?
what's left over in some of the cracks
My
in the
knuckles are
rocks
releasing
settle
gases?
sometimes, and that's what triggered the earthquake here. We had Derek Pitts on earlier. He's from the Franklin Institute. He also talked about how we had glaciers here. The glaciers made it up to about the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania and in northern New Jersey. Even though they're long gone, thousands and thousands of years ago, it takes a long time for the ground to respond.
He's got a nice suit,
Think
man.
of our ground like a memory foam pillow. When you put your head into the pillow, your head sinks into it, but then when you get your head up, you actually see the pillow go back to normal. Our ground is still doing that, and as it does that, that's another way that we can trigger some earthquakes, as those cracks in the big bedrock that's below our feet, so big rock pieces, kind of shift around a little bit.
Tiffany's not buying it, man. I don't believe this guy either. He
present-day
seems suspicious.
Africa slamming into North America,
I don't trust his
causing the
suit.
Appalachian Mountains that run across the Northeast.
And his
We are
post-it
prone to earthquakes
diagram,
around here,
continental
just
gay sex
oftentimes
thing
they're
is
so
just
low in
not
that
doing it for
magnitude
me,
scale,
man.
we don't even feel them, or you really don't notice them. But today, certainly much different from that. The latest information in the Weather Center looking at the seismograph out of Delaware County and some other seismographs. So far, no aftershocks being reported here in this region. Guys, I'm curious, first of all,
the video next?
I was going to say it was so really cool to experience the earthquake with both of you, but I wanted to see if you had any questions.
Well, you've been just so thorough and so calming.
Wait, that was thorough?
A question about this.
He slammed two pieces of post-it notes together, man. Of course I have questions.
So I'd have to research that in New Jersey. Remember the one we had about a decade ago out of Virginia? That was stronger than this one.
5.8, yeah.
Yeah, that one shook some things in my house here. So far, the reports are that it pretty much went all the way up to parts of Vermont and New England, like New Hampshire and northern New York, all the way down to Virginia for folks that felt this, and it's just because this is a much greater magnitude. Once you start getting above 2, more so like 3 or 4, that's when it'll be more widespread for places feeling it.
And when we mentioned the 4.8, this is the amount of energy, correct?
Correct. That's the shaking of an earth. It syncs up with the damage scale. So what it's doing is, this scale is twofold. And I have a great resource. This is coming out of a school in Michigan, Michigan Tech. And it's a component of, all right, how much of the earth was shaking. There's actually a different scale for that that's in terms of Roman numerals. And then based on that shaking, what does that do to buildings and things like this? For an earthquake of this magnitude, it says often felt, but only causes minor damage, maybe say a little crack or things like that. It doesn't cause the damage that we just saw out of Taiwan from earlier in the week.
Well, luckily for us, in this case, most certainly it just rattled nerves, but not too much damage at all. Drew, thank you. You've been doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Stick around. Obviously, we're going to keep checking back with you. You've been doing excellent work right there.
I want to show you or share at least some of the videos that we've been getting in. The first one is out of Yankee Stadium, and this is closer to the epicenter, just north of Lebanon, obviously in New York or Brooklyn here.
Bronx.
The Bronx, excuse me. Yes, you can see.
That's
I guess batting practice.
That was it?
The shaking of the camera. Each camera is certainly different here, but
these guys don't care. These guys are still.
23.
These guys are still hitting balls.
Didn't really seem like it affected anyone there.
He's like, I don't got a problem.
More video coming in. This was the moment a guy was playing guitar.
He's gonna update his resume and LinkedIn. Who's this guy? Fuck. He seems shocked.
Who's that?
It's an earthquake, man.
That was pretty intense. That was the most intense.
I think a lot of people asking that question, what had happened, what was that?
What was that there,
so
buddy?
Yeah, he kind of stopped playing guitar, looked around there, and the whole house seemed very dramatic looking around. What was that? So from New York to the guy playing the guitar in Jersey to an attic. I don't know why he had the camera set up, but apparently he did there. I don't know if he was doing renovations, but this was the moment the earthquake struck. I don't know if there's sound on here or not.
That's not horrible, right? Just a little shaky.
The camera positioned in his attic, and
he flinched. Yeah, he flinched a little bit.
The 4.8 at about 10:23.
Ooh, little shaker.
You can really get a lot of. I mean, it's really rough.
Yeah. It looks like someone's just shaking his camera, man.
All right.
It was
And that's
strange.
interesting because that was a good timeline. You get to see how long it was running for, because we thought it maybe like 10 seconds, you know, and so that
Rodent
looked
cam.
like it was almost a longer stretch of about 20 seconds right there.
How about you, Chili? What do you have to say about all this, man?
You guys wanted to play this game. Are we having fun yet? Because I'd rather get back to my mission. Why don't you go find a fucking life? And then David Omo. You guys want to see David Omo's shit? Check this out. You want to see a guy, literally, someone wrote me today and said, I think David Omo's in love with you. David, you are in love with me, brother. There's a guy. Hey, David, listen. High blood pressure, bad knee. If you agree to meet me somewhere, just me and you, no lawsuit, no restraining order. I'd just like to take your 145-pound ass and throw you in the trash can. That's what I'd like to do. If you agree to meet me somewhere, then we don't have to have any law, no government, no nothing. Just me and you, David. I promise I'll pick you up off the ground when we're done. Pick up your teeth off the ground.
Yeah.
Take you back into your little cottage. Okay?
Yeah. We hate
Would
you,
love
David.
to, David. Would love to. Would love to. Listen, and people
Chili
are like,
looks good in this video, man. This was like a year ago. This artist freedom fighting has really aged him, man. He hasn't aged well in 1 year, in my opinion. This was like a year ago. He looks different. Yeah, he looks younger, buffer.
He's so violent. When did I ever say I wasn't? 8? 97? 99? When did I ever say I don't love fist fighting? I love it. Just not on the street. Not illegally. I don't love assaulting
No illegal
people.
fights?
I don't love breaking the law. Those things. But if I could get one of these beta boys, see, and I didn't want to do the thing with Chad Goo where we had some big, listen, we ended up doing it, but you know what? I'm going to smack this shit out of that guy one day. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Knights of Knee. I don't know where he is. Knights of NI. Block that piece of shit off my page, please. Can't stand him. I read your comments in Discord.
You remember this? Yeah, this was at the Colombian airport.
So,
this wasn't that long ago, Guacamole, Guadalupe Guacamole. This was like a year ago. Alright? He hasn't aged well, man. He
scrubbed all the pictures of Michael Pettitini. Is there a... Let me ask you guys a question. Let me just ask you.
Steroids?
Is there a single guy with integrity in this group? Question mark. Why are you guys deleting Michael Pettitini's pictures?
Why did it edit it?
Be a bunch of
this is actually an edited video I'm watching on a channel called Las Vegas Community News, I believe. Here's the link to the video I'm watching.
Bunch of beta boy cucks. Bunch of cucks. Defending a piece of shit like this guy, like Michael Pettitini. But, so what triggered me is listening to that beta boy Terry go on his video with AZ Jeep Girl and say, oh yeah, he only attacks women. Okay, Terry. Kentucky border, Terry. Meet me at the Kentucky border. Meet me there. Where you at, Terry? You think you're a tough guy, Terry? Everybody knows Terry's a pussy, okay? Terry, you're no match for me, bro. We know that. So I'm not going to meet you somewhere random because I'd end up breaking your neck and then I'm going to jail. I don't want to beat up some little girl. I mean, you literally weigh 100 pounds, Terry. So... But Michael Pettitini's a big guy. He must weigh like 250 with all the extra weight. I'm 220 right now, Michael Pettitini. I'll bet you my 48-year-old ass.
Chili's 220?
32-year-old ass.
He's huge.
And pile drive.
Bro.
I'll bet you. I'll bet you.
Yeah, I would definitely get my ass kicked around Chili, man. Like, he would just constantly pin me down and beat me up because I wouldn't be able to restrain myself from saying stuff to him. I just constantly get beat up.
I'll bet you a ham sandwich. I'll bet you a ham sandwich. I will bet you a ham sandwich for coming by. Anyway, so I guess I'm going after men now. I guess all week I've been going after, you know, I just can't stand that piece of shit, Chad Goo. I always wanted to beat his ass. I just don't get to do it in a cage now. But I'll head up to your fight camp because I still love fighting. I was fighting all this last couple weeks in California with a buddy of mine, so I still have the shape. My knee's just messed up. But fighting pussies like you, if you actually fought me in a fair place where no one would stop us, I'd bounce you off the ground once or twice. It'd be over pretty quick.
5'7", 220? Is that a little overweight?
Because what people don't understand
or is that just thick?
Is that the first move
he's
is
a bigger
the most
guy.
Important. You throw someone on the ground, they bounce off the ground, and then they reconsider what they're going to do next. So, anywho,
he'll just be bouncing me off the ground, man.
That's a fact.
I like how he's just like, anywho, now that I'm your guys' leader again, and
I like
everybody's
this freeze frame right
terrified
here.
of me and respects me because I'm so scary.
Why do you make that face? Thank you, Tiffany. Why do you make this
Hey
face right here?
ducks. Morning bow, smiley face, coffee.
Yo,
No
good morning to
scam.
you. Hell yeah, thank you. Why do you make this face right here?
Just had to get that off my chest, you guys. What's funny is, apparently he already deleted this video, so that's a win for me. I love when they do that. They record some really, really good content, and they don't even keep it. They just let it go.
This guy loves him.
I love it. It benefits me pretty much. And I know Dog Detective guy.
He looks like unclean hands right here. Oh shit. Looking like a goddamn fish.
And I'm pretty sure Irish Demon got a good copy of it.
It's a fact, the tribe patriot, the true patriot. That's a fact.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I heard that. I heard that too. I can't say anything about Kate. I can't say anything about her losing her children or apparently she was talking about doing drugs on her broadcast. I'm not against people doing drugs. I think drugs are a healthy thing. I think they're a good thing if they're done in moderation. But I don't think that methamphetamines are a good drug. So, you know, I'm just being honest. I'm not going to lie because I'm afraid people won't like me. If you don't like me, fuck off. But you won't. You're addicted. You're addicted, bro. You're addicted, bro. You are straight addicted, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it would be one thing if you guys offered something, but you don't. They don't. They don't offer anything. They're just a bunch of cucks. They're just a bunch of cucks. Terry versus Ohio's got to go.
Damn it. Who taught him that word? Why does he keep saying that now? He's like,
who taught him that word?
You beta male cuck. Who was saying that? Was it Team Skeptic that kept saying that? And now he's using it. He's like, now I'm going to call everybody.
Bob 9180? Damn.
I'm an alpha cuck. I love it. He's just going crazy. It reminds me of Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's like, I am on top of my rage knows no bounds. And he's like, oh, oof, I am crazy.
Yeah, I'd like to. But Ironton Terry Nip, I guess I came after you, didn't I? I only go after women. I guess I'm only going after a woman when it comes to you. I mean, I guarantee you drop down that guy's pants. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. This big. Anyway, I had to listen to that piece of shit bottom boy bitch who I funded, paid for his phone, gave him thousands of bucks, go on there and say, I only take on women. Take a look at this piece of shit, David Omo, murderer. Take a look at his channel. Killed his friend and then had to hide the beer instead of giving him CPR, taking care of him.
Oh, somebody's been hanging around Joey Amico too.
David Omo's Team Skeptic, right?
He's repeating the same bullshit Joey was saying about Team Skeptic now. And he's starting to sound a lot more, what are we going to say, gangster in quotation marks? He's definitely more aggressive right now. I don't know why, but it's funny. At least, I mean, it's at least entertaining, so whatever. I'm guessing, you know, yeah, like I said, he took this down already, so he regretted it. Maybe all the call-outs, he called out about 5 people to fight him at random locations, basically. I think it was about 5 people. Oh, it was funny. And there's just people sitting there just watching him rant at his phone. I love it.
Shout out to Ham Banana. Is this who this is? Is this Ham Banana?
Check this shit out.
The channel is Las Vegas Community News, I think.
I actually just took a look at it. Take a look at David.
Is that who the commentator is? The commentator?
Want to talk about a bottom boy cuck? Beta bitch? Take a look at David Omo.
Let's look at him.
This is his live section.
Hell yeah.
Okay, just take a look. That's me, right? There's me. There's me. There's me.
Hell
There's me. Look at David Omo's Team Skeptics page. Look. Is this guy jerking off in the shower about me or not? Is he jerking off and thinking about me?
Hell yeah.
Is he jerking off and thinking about me every day?
Who else here jerks off thinking about Chili? Or fingers themselves.
Every single day. Oh, did we run out? How far? Oh, this is a year ago.
That includes butthole.
Only been on YouTube for a year. So let me go back to when I came onto YouTube. 8 months ago. I started in January on YouTube. This is November. So a couple months into YouTube, 8 months ago, David becomes obsessed with me. Every thumbnail's of me. Look. And not only that, guys, not only that about Team Skeptic, who is a closeted gay, which is fine. Come
He's
out
a
of the
closeted
closet,
gay?
David. We know you're gay. And just, I mean, who makes thumbnails of another man like that? I just don't understand that. I can't even get that wrapped around my head. But the worst part about Team Skeptic, check this out. When you go to his page, his main video is me, and it has 100,000 views. David, you can't use my likeness to make money.
Why not?
I'm suing your ass, you piece of shit.
Oh, man.
Look at that. Using my likeness to make money. Look. Look.
Look. Hey there.
So I guess on this broadcast, I only went after men. I mean, obviously, I'm suing Kate Peter, but...
It was only once. Who closet?
Oh, shoot. Well, everybody's going to start suing everybody for, you know, using these pictures that are fair use, you know, because you put them up on the internet willingly to a public forum like YouTube, knowing we can make videos, do commentary on them. You understand that. You're just acting like a beta cuck bitch. God damn it. Now I said it. Did you say it right?
I guess it's just not, I guess it's anybody who makes, I mean,
I love his evil laughter. I love his evil laughter.
Look at this fucking guy. I mean, look at this fucking guy. Look at this guy. I mean, just
I love how evil he
absolutely
is.
obsessed with me, dude.
Hell yeah.
This guy is obsessed with me, so in love. David, do you dream about slobbing my knob? do you put like, maybe get a salami or a cucumber and then put your mouth on it and be like,
wait, what?
Is that what you do? Do you see how far?
Wait, man. Hold on, man. Who does that? How does... Oh, man. What, man? You do what, man? Bro. Wait, what? People do that, man?
Far down you can go on the cucumber, David? Is that what you do? Because you got to get that murder that you did out of your head. And so
wait,
like,
that's how you get murders out of your head, man? By deep throating a cucumber?
Maybe if I just think about blowing chili. Maybe if I get down, do you have where snot comes out your nose? Because I've seen that happen.
Wait, what? He's seen that happen? He's seen snot come out of people's nose, man?
Hey, you guys wanted to play rough. Let's play rough. Want to play rough?
Oh, shit. Okay. Let's go.
Oh, man. Big time gay thoughts. I mean, big time
What
gay
thought
thoughts.
is that?
He's got to be having gay thoughts like crazy. Look, it's all me. It's all me.
Oh, shit.
Look. His whole thing is about me. What a twisted fuck. I mean, what a whack job. I mean, his whole thing is about me. Look, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Just in love with me,
like
bro.
it rough, sweet.
Just in love with me, dude. Look. Discussion about the first debate. Discussion. Dude. You don't have to like me. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody right now, hit the like button. Even you pussy-ass bitch trolls, hit the like button.
All right, man,
You're here right now because I'm allowing you.
Yeah.
You're here right now because I exist.
Yeah.
I am the alpha. And you are a follower. So hit the like button. Piece of shit troll. Hit the like button.
Hell yeah.
Oh, he's melting down. He's so dangerous now. For the love of God, give me the chance to be dangerous. Actually come up to me and take a swing so I can put your head into the concrete. It will take literally seconds. Where's the danger that I am? Where is it? Where's the danger? He's so dangerous. There's no assault record. There's no violent record at all whatsoever. There's no arrest for violence. There's no arrest for assault. There's no charge of battery. There's no hospital bill. I've never hurt anybody. I've never hurt anybody. So what are you talking about? Linda got it right. Linda T just said Terry would be a nobody without Chili. Terry, the only reason anybody knows your name is because I bought you a camera, I bought you a phone, and I paid you to be an auditor. It's the only reason anybody knows your name, Terry. You are such a cuck, dude. You are such a cuck. You really are. Everybody from Ironton should know that I paid you to protect them. And then, as soon as I stopped paying you, you became a cop sucker and started sucking off Chad Goo. I guarantee you he has sucked him off. I guarantee it. He swallowed his whole load. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Wait, you mean he got a little bit of Chad's goo? Damn, Chili, you nasty, man. He's been talking about gay stuff all day.
Hell yeah.
Just straight
I
up
love gay stuff, by the
'cause
way.
He thinks it's insulting because it apparently insults him, so he's just using it as a weapon. Like, oh, I'll just use this back at them.
What, is that a
And
penis
it's
suitcase?
really just making it seem more like he's actually a closet homosexual.
Chad Goo went flying over there as quick as he could. Hey, the two of them got together and said, you know what, if we talk about Chili, people will pay attention to us. But he's not the alpha. Okay. And then someone chimed in on the Discord the other day. You notice he stopped talking about alpha and beta? Did I? When did that happen? I wasn't sure. When did that happen? When did that happen? I don't. When was that? When did I stop saying that? When did I stop saying that I was the leader? When did I ever say that differently? I am
where's
the leader.
Palm Springs,
I'm
California?
going into leadership. I am the alpha, and I will continue to lead. Unfortunately, right now, I got to kick your fucking ass. But then after this, 2023 is coming. 2023 is coming. 2023 is coming. Goo is the alpha? Yeah, Goo, who's raising 5 kids from different men that don't belong to him, and the men whose kids he's raising are in prison. Yeah, Chad Goo has 5 kids with that chick, and none are his. None of them are his.
Hell yeah.
I'm not kidding. All the kids are from different dads. I think 2 of the kids are from one dad. I think. I don't know the answer, so I'm not going to quote it. But I know that none of those children that Chad Goo has in his home are his. They're from the previous felons who are in prison, or the deadbeat dads that he rescued the woman from poverty and takes care of her and her kids. So, I gotta give him credit, to be honest. He may be a pig,
I can't move right now, man.
but he is paying for 5 dudes' kids, or 5 kids that belong to other dudes. And he does have a young little wife. She's pretty hot. I'd hit that. You know what I'm saying? She's pretty hot, Chad. Good for you, bro. Good for you.
Pretty hot. Ooh, pretty hot.
He's so creepy. He's like,
Ooh, pretty hot.
I'd hit that.
Silence Boy. Silence Boy is still around. You'll see him lurking in the chat sometimes.
Like, you were
Just
trying
wait.
to
Silent Boy be lurking in the chat
about Chad, but you accidentally just started
need to get Silent Boy on panel.
complimenting him, and now you're like gonna just freeze up for a bit and try to process what you just did. It's funny. You just watch him. He gets all quiet. He's like, whoop, where you can hear the little whoop, 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 whoops going on in his mind.
I love his evil laughter. He's so diabolical. Hell yeah. FTM is down? What's FTM? What's FTM? Phantom? FTM. Phantom? Chili's trading Phantom?
Yeah, V. Boyer just wrote, I'm not impressed with money, I'm not impressed with social status or job.
Hold on. Is that what it says? 17 cents it was trading at. Is that the right symbol? Oh, it was trading at a year ago. It's like well over 80 cents now. No, it's well over 70 cents now. That's Phantom, right?
Yeah.
That was a good buy. You should have bought some
V.
Phantom
Boyer
shit.
just wrote,
Looking at like
I'm
6x
not
right
impressed
now.
with money, I'm not impressed with social
4x
status
at
or
least.
job title, I'm impressed with someone treats other human beings. So listen, all we've done so far on this channel is help people. We've helped a lot of people, you know? And someone just wrote that Kate chose trolling over her kids. And she did, as far as my opinion is. You know, I don't think that's harassing or defaming. It seems as though she did lose her kids. That's what it seems like.
Did Chili
There
get
is
bail?
adoption papers,
I don't believe so. He's still in jail.
and there is a newspaper clipping that shows that she lost her children. So, am I picking on her because she's a woman, or because she lost her kids? Am I picking on Terry because he's...
Do you deserve to be picked on if you lost your kids? Like, is that something worthy of getting picked on for?
a woman? Terry, I'm giving you content.
I think Michelle's right, man. I think Chili got a little too lost in the internet sauce, in a sense, right? I think it happens to a lot of people, right? I think Chili just got a little. Now he's in jail a little bit,
Brother,
right?
now you have a live stream you can do, and you can go out and grift people, along with these other grifters who use my content and use my name and say he's not the leader, but I'm called Delete Laws too.
You think he should
He's
be in
not
jail?
the leader, but my name's...
I don't think Chili should be in jail for what they accuse him of doing, right? I really don't. I think he should be in jail for raising, according to him, not if what he's saying is true, for raising hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for either himself or other people, and encouraging everyone else to give that money to the people who eventually is going to damage him. That's what he should be in jail for. I don't think he should be in jail for what they claim he did, because he didn't really hurt anyone. He didn't harm anyone. But I think he should be in jail for his, you know, for how he believes that continuing to give money to a system that's going to damage him is going to somehow get justice, however you can measure that by, whatever criteria that you can measure justice by.
Chili. He's not the leader, but watch his video. Am I too far off here? I mean, I'm just saying, hasn't this got too ridiculous yet? How many people are ready to be class representatives? How many people? Let me drop it in the chat. Here's the link for class representatives for trolls. If you're unhappy with Kate Peter...
And to be honest, I really don't think he should be in jail for it. I think he should just be forced to get into a convo with someone that can really lay it out for him in a way that he can digest what's going on. You know?
That chick ran that channel and turned it from a report channel to a troll mafia channel. Let me drop the link in the chat for you.
He's continued to harm people with attempts to believe in the
system. You should fill this out.
It's not just him, it's everyone. I mean, he's not the only one, Michelle, you know?
You should fill this out.
Like, seriously. Like, he's not doing anything that Brian isn't doing, or fucking, you know, what Henry isn't doing, or for public safety isn't doing, or fucking DirectD isn't doing, or fucking... Just name them. I mean, who else?
I mean, I made a video saying stop using my name, stop using my brand, and then 10 channels popped up using my logo, using my brand, saying he's not the alpha. Okay. Seems like I am. It seems like it. That's all I'm saying. It seems like it. Here is the form for the class representative. And I'm going to drop this in the chat for everybody who are trolls.
Yeah, it is what it
And
is.
You guys are welcome to fill out this class representative sheet.
Is Chili out? I don't believe so. I don't think he's out.
Here's the link for anybody who wants to fill this out. I just had to listen to that Arizona Jeep girl over on the Ironton frauditor Terry Nips page, who was a paid auditor for Ironton. Do the people of Ironton know that he was getting paid? Does anybody know that? Any other auditor in the history of YouTube ever get paid by another auditor to go out and audit cops? Can anybody put a 1 in the chat if you think no auditor ever gets paid? Put a 1 in the chat if you don't. If it's normal, the auditors have to make their own way. Put a 1 in the chat if auditors are not supposed to be paid by other auditors. Put a 1 in the chat. Just put a 1 in the chat, because it's true. I shouldn't have had to pay him to go out on the streets, but I did. And I have all the phone calls recorded.
Yeah,
where
Flex Freedom.
I
mean, you name them, just one after another,
He was discouraged, and he didn't want to go out, and I sent him money for him to go on the streets.
You catch yourself all the time repeating they can't do that, or you have a right. Yeah, it happens. It is what it is.
I mean,
Compound is down 10%, man. Compound was at $35. What's Compound at right now, man? Let's see. COM. Let's see what Compound is at right now. Compound is trading at 71 bucks right now. That's going to be a 2x if you would have bought.
I mean, any other auditors have someone?
Is Chili low key giving us buy signals, man? Should we be paying attention to Chili's alerts more?
Paying them to go out and audit. Anybody else have that? I didn't have that. No one just gave me money up front without doing anything.
Patty
and then
McNeil's
called
like that
me an
all the time.
auditor without doing anything. Anybody else do that? Yeah, I was paying him, dude. I needed somebody there to protect the people of Ironton.
This drives
Unfortunately, I hired a cop-sucking beta male bitch. I'm sorry that I did.
Is that Stafford? Alright, man, we're canceling Ham Banana, man. Thanks for the video, man. Thanks for the blast to the past.
Now, the reason it says 14,
thank you, buddy.
This is in weather time. They're a couple hours ahead. So they're about 4 hours ahead. That's why it says 14.
Ooh, Chitler coin.
Looks like it's just
Should I start a Chitler coin?
Even better. So you don't see it's 14. You know, when we look at our weather maps, we have to do the conversion in our head from
Should I start a Chitler coin?
Centered over England to our current time zone. So there is the shaking there, and a couple things I want to break down on the seismograph reading that we see from the earthquake that occurred in New Jersey, just across from the Lehigh Valley, is how you see those sharp spikes. When it first happened, that's when the shaking was the greatest. That's when the seismograph recorded the most shaking, and it gradually stopped, so it took about 30 seconds for that to end. That's one seismograph there. I saw another one from a different spot. I'll zoom
You think
out.
Stafford was in the
This
next
one
play?
is from
There's a
Delaware,
huge earthquake that hit
just across the state
Lebanon,
line.
New Jersey.
And
It's the
this particular
epicenter, I
one,
believe.
I'll zoom up. These are all
It's
these
a
different
4.8.
monitoring, areas
And I'm
that
saying
we have
huge with
around
air quotes.
our region. This one, this is coming
Allegedly, he's on the path of
from
the eclipse.
near a museum just north of Wilmington, across the state line, nearby Kennett Square. And so this seismograph by this museum right there, so near the Winter Thur, well, this one had a similar story. It kind of showed the same picture.
Who wants to buy some Chitler coins?
What's interesting is both of those seismographs did not record the aftershock.
Bad Badger token currency at 125. Yeah.
To how weak that aftershock was.
I got some stuff going on in the background with the Bad Badger token. I can't really say much, but
so
I'm actively working on a project.
Don't feel that's why the U.S. doesn't even put it on their main map. You got to click a couple buttons just to get it all up. But today's earthquake did cause an aftershock. All right, so let's take a step back now and just talk about why are there earthquakes in New Jersey and Pennsylvania? We leave that to the folks in California, right? Well, it's all about what's below our feet. So a couple different things. First, let's talk about why they get earthquakes in California. You know, it's a privilege. I get to teach this to college students. I'm a professor.
Is he going to bring back the Post-it notes? Oh, here comes the Post-it notes.
And I teach earth science. I teach why we get earthquakes, why we get
Who Post-it notes, teacher?
And here's what's going on the West Coast. I want you to imagine my Post-it notes.
A new scheme's coming soon,
yeah? Here's the
I think it's a good one. It's a long-term project.
The Pacific Ocean, there's a rock all the way
I'm trying to launch it by this year.
Where we live, North America, the continent there.
And it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a long-term project.
It's running into North America.
There's no
but the
real
rock plate
timeline.
that the ocean sits on, it's heavier. So when it slams in North America,
But the
it
Bad Badger
sinks.
token is looking good.
And when one rock plate goes underneath another, just like that, that makes big volcanoes and it makes big earthquakes. So Mount St. Helens out in Oregon, it's triggered because of one rock plate going underneath another. There's an area called the Ring of Fire, and it literally is a ring around the Pacific Ocean because the Pacific rock plate is running into North America and it's running into plates over in Asia and where Australia is. And just because that ocean rock plate's heavy, when it hits a continent, it goes below and it has just the potential to cause big earthquakes. It doesn't always, but out there, that's why you get the biggest earthquakes. Let's bring it here at home.
This guy's
So
been waiting
we
for this
don't
moment
have
for a
rock
while.
plates right now
he's
slamming
prepped,
into
right?
us, but the reason we had an earthquake today is back in the day, that is what happened.
We learned this
So
in
now
third
I want you to
grade with
imagine
better
this
fucking
as what's present
with a
day
better
Africa,
presentation.
that rock plate, so a continent. And then another continent rock plate, what's present day us, North America. Well, those two, back in the day when we were forming that giant supercontinent, they slammed into each other just like this. And look at that. You see the shape right there? It's the shape of a mountain. Because that's what happens. When two pieces of land that weigh the same, they slam into each other, well, the land buckles. So here they are coming together, the land buckles, and it makes mountains. So the whole reason we have the Appalachian Mountains here in Pennsylvania and running all the way down from Maine to Georgia is because of Africa slamming into North America and the ground buckling. When that happened, that led to cracks in the rock. That's what a fault is. A fault is just a tiny crack in the rock, but even all these thousands, dare I say millions of years later, those cracks, they're still settling and adjusting, and there's still a little movement around those cracks. I got a question for you. Did you ever crack your knuckles? I'm guilty of it. I get my knuckles.
He's already said
and
this.
I crack them. Maybe you hear it over the camera. I'm pretty cracky.
He's
I feel
cracky?
like, maybe that bubble wrap paper you
He does look
squeeze.
kinda
I feel
cracky.
like that's how my bones do. They make all those noises. Well, when we do that, I think of that as our bones settling. They're giving off gases. That's the noise you hear. But I think of it as our bones settling. And that's essentially what happens for our part of the country. Out in the other part of the country, there's
Denver
energy
Metro
like
audits
that.
too?
Rockets are slamming into each other. The energy here, it's leftovers. That's
Couple
why
of scammers,
earthquakes
man.
here in our part of the country are not as strong as the ones out in the western part of the United States. It's just because literally the rocks below our feet are just settling. They're cracking their knuckles. Because back from when Africa slammed in to North America just like that, ended up making cracks in the rock. You can even see some faults around our region. Not Lebanon, New Jersey, but Lebanon County in Pennsylvania, there's this little cave you can go in, and you can see like a little crack in the cave a little bit, and that's left over from when the Appalachian Mountains formed. So the big earthquake that we're talking about today, and we were live on the air when it happened with the Good Day After show, that happened about 10:30 or so. That was a magnitude 4.8 in Lebanon, well, near Lebanon in Hunterdon County. I'll show you the exact location, and I'll kind of show you some of our maps to kind of give you a feel of exactly what was going on. So the reason we've been talking about Lebanon,
What's up there,
it's just
Bama
the
Gump? Welcome
closest
into the
community
feed.
of consequence to the earthquake, but the actual earthquake itself, it was a couple miles up and to the northeast of Lebanon. So there it is right there to kind of give you a feel. We're talking in New Jersey. This is in Hunterdon County, New Jersey. That's right across from the Lehigh Valley. That is also where we ended up having that magnitude 2.0 aftershock about an hour later, a little bit more than an hour later.
Did you hear that Freebies is going to move to
magnitude
Oklahoma and
so
have a personal
low
bar
that you
member in
don't
his
even
circle
feel
jerk?
it, and it didn't even register
I don't get
on the seismograph
I haven't been
reading
filled in
in
on that.
Delaware or in Delaware
He texted
County.
me a video
So,
earlier,
those seismographs only recorded that earthquake
but I haven't
that
watched
so
all of it
many
yet.
people felt, and it just goes to show
I think it's
you,
on his channel already.
you know what? Earthquakes of that magnitude, no big deal. Now, something that's really interesting is this area is prone to earthquakes. Yeah, not only that part of New Jersey, but also Pennsylvania. Here's what you're looking at, a map of Pennsylvania, and it slides into New Jersey.
We've already seen this.
All these circles are past earthquakes. And you see on the bottom of the map, it says magnitude. The bigger the circle, the
Oh, I
greater
see.
the
I see. I
shaking.
do see in the bottom
There's
of the map.
actually some faults around Berks County, Pennsylvania. That would be this region right here. And Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, I believe it's called the Marduk Fault, where it's actually pretty prone to earthquakes. Here's the reason why. In that part of our area, so we're talking Lancaster County and also parts of Berks County, what's present-day Maryland is actually underneath.
The real question,
that.
Aaron, is do you think it's healthy to be involved in so many people's lives?
area. And it all goes back from when Africa slammed in to North America. But let's look at this map again. And I want to give you a feel of how, first of all, it is frequent earthquakes, but here's the catch. They're so itty-bitty, you don't even feel them, you don't even notice them. Most of those circles, they're pretty small. Most of those circles you see, they're a magnitude of 2, and as we were just chatting...
The involvement isn't reciprocating either. Oh shit! It's one way like a motherfucker.
They're on the seismographs, so no big deal there. I do want to point out that area of New Jersey where we had that earthquake is prone to earthquakes. In fact, just last month, they had a magnitude 2.2 earthquake, pretty much right in the exact same spot, but we didn't hear people talking about it. Why? That shaking amount is just too low. This magnitude scale factors in, first of all, how much shaking, and then secondly, how much is that damaged buildings, and they rank it on that scale. The higher the number, the much greater shaking, the much greater damage to buildings. So that happens in the area because there is a fault that runs through the area. Here right there is a look at the fault. See that yellow line? There's a long crack in the rocks, and it's all because of how Africa slammed into North America and caused the Appalachian Mountains. So this area, because of that, is prone to getting earthquakes. Pretty much anywhere around that crack in the rock is prone to having the rocks just kind of settle a little bit over time and for a little bit of shaking happening. Because when the rocks move a little bit, that little tiny movement, and it's very tiny in the earth, does make some big time shaking. So the first earthquake, the one that people were texting and calling about, I got so many people reporting to me. Thank you so much for all your reports to my email, my socials, and all my friends saying, yeah, we felt it here in Berks County, we felt it there. Well, that first one was about 3 miles below the Earth's surface. When an earthquake, where the actual energy of it kind of sliding, in other words, that rock just kind of slides around the crack, and that energy gets released, the closer to the surface it is, the more you feel the shaking. The second aftershock was deeper in the ground. So the first earthquake, that magnitude 4.8.
I was projecting again. Whatever you have to say, man. Whatever you have to type into the chats to continue your existence, man. Either way, I think it's awesome. Better you than me.
Was about 3 miles below our feet. The 2.0 earthquake that happened in the same region in Hunterdon County, New Jersey, across from the Lehigh Valley, like places.
Whatever you have to do, man. It's maybe I'm projecting. Maybe I'm the one that's involved in a woman's life. And
so here's what's interesting. We've been
not getting any reciprocation.
kind of noticed something before the actual shaking happened. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's me. It's not. Yeah, it's not you.
Three rounds, I call it, of energy, of what's called these seismic waves. The ones that we traditionally feel are the ones that are at the surface. They're called surface waves.
Taiwan just had a magnitude 7 earthquake. Oh, really? That was like last week, right, Mark Simpson?
In France, I believe they call the bottom floor the primary floor, so it kind of all makes sense. So many science things that I learned over the years, so that's how I kept primary wave kind of straight in my head, because the next type of wave that comes out when there's an earthquake is called a secondary wave, an S wave.
Ooh, secondary wave.
So what happens is when there is a tiny little shift in the ground, a primary wave.
You wouldn't notice it 4.8? I don't know how to grade earthquakes, man. I saw a couple of footages. It didn't seem like it was that bad, Mark.
You can feel some of these P waves and S waves, in other words, the first little bits before the actual big time shaking. Out in the west where earthquakes are much stronger, but in this region you wouldn't feel it. But you know, pets notice and feel different things than we do, so I wouldn't be surprised if they felt the primary wave
a few days ago. Yeah, it was devastating, man. The buildings were all tipped over and shit.
The second little piece of energy,
but it was in Taiwan, and no one cares about Taiwan.
That's the one we felt, the surface wave. Here's why. They travel right at the surface of the Earth.
7 is greater than 4.8? Yeah, that's factual, I believe.
The earthquake actually happened. They're deeper in the ground, so it's tougher to feel that energy. The part of the energy that gets closer to the Earth's surface, you feel it much more.
You think someone's playing around with the earthquake machines?
And what kind of rock is below your feet makes a difference in how you feel an earthquake. If you have
4.8 is a pussy earthquake.
Much more shaking. If you have harder rock,
man.
It's harder. You know, it's harder to, at the end of the day, get that shaking to rattle a building as much. But when you have hard rock below your feet...
No one cares. Yeah, I don't care about Taiwan, man. I don't even care what happens to the United States, to be honest, man. Like, I can care less.
Travel much farther in place. So that's part of the reason why we're getting reports right now of the earthquake.
Like, the gates of hell can open up right now and start just fucking... Demons start coming out and start fucking causing all kind of havoc, and... Like, it wouldn't affect me at all. I wouldn't give a shit.
Felt pretty much around the Northeast. I've been monitoring.
You heard the earthquake last night, as I'm from the future. Damn, savage.
And I'll give you a feel of that right there.
Gobbling Manlos. Wonder if that's how Chili got mod, or how he got Chili mod status. Who got Chili mod status? Who's a mod?
A live press conference in New York City because they were a lot closer to the shaking. The closer you are to where the earthquake happened, the more
Chili
shaking
mod
you get. So they were closing to the original point that kind of gave out that energy. So they likely felt more shaking. And same goes for the Lehigh Valley than, say, us here in Philadelphia. So some of the things I've been monitoring on this map, and I know it's tough to see, but I want you to look at some of the circles.
It'd be like that movie, This Is Dan. Yeah, it would be like that movie. I'm like, oh my God, bro.
And in northern parts of New York.
I would probably gasp if that shit happened. I'm not gonna lie. That would affect me. I would gasp.
This earthquake was felt as far north as parts of Vermont, so northern New England, and as far south as of now in Virginia, with so many spots feeling it, and you can get a feel the closest you are to where the earthquake happened, that's where the most shaking has happened.
How can I explain this with post-it note props? I need 2 post-it note props, man. This one thing of post-it notes is not enough for me to explain this fucking geological stuff.
Last time we had something this high would have been about 10 years ago, when we had that earthquake in Virginia over 5 in terms of the magnitude scale, and we felt it up here in Pennsylvania, and folks up and down the East Coast felt it because it was much stronger in terms of the shaking. And because a lot of times we have stronger bedrock in the east, the energy from an earthquake can travel a little bit more up and down here versus the soil is different out west, so a lot of times the energy from an earthquake doesn't travel as far out. Then that triggered an aftershock because it moved the rocks around, and it led to one of the cracks in the rocks in a different location shifting a little bit. And this was actually right down the road from where the
You guys think there's going to be more earthquakes coming?
In fact,
I predict more earthquakes coming.
So there is the magnitude 2.0. It's the small little circle. Well, there's kind of our big circle, but I want to take a closer look at the smaller circle right there. So you see this little smaller one right above, oh, what letter is that? The letter I, that's the 2.0, and look how close it is to the big circle. That's where we had the 4.8. We have a couple other circles because I was just kind of setting things up, but I just want to show you how close both the aftershock, so a little tiny earthquake after the original earthquake, are to each other in that northeastern corner of Hunterdon County in New Jersey. So we continue to keep an eye on things here in the Weather Center, monitor are there any more aftershocks. Here's what we'll do. Let's take a break. I'll check out some of the seismometer.
No more post-it notes, man?
If there's weak aftershocks, they're not going to feel them, but I'll see if the United States Geological Service is reporting any more. Give me about 2 minutes to do that.
They got a bunch of workstations up, though.
As we continue our live coverage of the earthquake that happened in Hunterdon County, New Jersey, and was felt all across our region from the Lehigh Valley to Philadelphia to Delaware. And
do the colors matter? Do the colors matter?
Fox 29.
All right, man. I guess you left us with a fucking B. What is this, man? We have to go watch fucking NBC, man. CBS, goddamn CBS. Goddamn CBS.
In downtown Brooklyn.
What you got for a CBS?
Jennifer, welcome. What's the latest?
What's this scallywag wearing right here, man? What is this?
You know, the good news, I should say, in all of this is that there are no major damages.
What's this fucking slug wearing, man?
New Yorkers to just go back to their normal day.
Like a thick zebra outfit? What is this?
OEM headquarters in downtown Brooklyn. We saw
live coverage of something that already happened. It happened this morning, I think.
Agency, from the mayor, the police commissioner, the fire commissioner, Office of Emergency Management, everyone here just kind of talking about the things or the steps that were taken to ensure the safety of New Yorkers. Now, we're told that no structural damages have been reported, but if you see anything in your home, in your office, in your business, you should report that to 311.
Aftershock fucked me up back in the day.
911. Save that for an emergency.
After an earthquake?
Officials, the school's chancellor was also here. He said things are going to continue at school. There aren't any early dismissals.
In Florida?
After-school programs are back on track. You know, and so the bridges, the tunnels, everything they said is back in order right now. The one thing, though, that we did learn is that construction projects, those are construction owners, people that are on those properties, they're the ones right now that are taking a little closer look into their projects to make sure that there aren't any damages. But other than that, you know, New Yorkers went through a 4.8 magnitude earthquake, and as of now, everything seems to be okay here. We'll send it back to
you. That's her sperm bib?
For this round with CBS News New York. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Appreciate it.
It's an alcoholic
source
thing.
tells CBS News that
I just polished off
are set to resume on
a huge
Sunday.
bottle of fucking
The news comes hours after the Israeli
Woodford,
military
man.
said this week's deadly
that shit
strike
fucked me up.
that killed 7 aid workers in
I was
Gaza
in like 3 days
should
straight
never
of
have
mania.
happened. The IDF released its findings from a probe into the incident, saying, quote, those who approved the strike were convinced that they were targeting armed Hamas operatives and not World Central Kitchen employees. It went on to say, the strike on the aid vehicles is a grave mistake, stemming from
They're talking about
serious
something else
failure
now,
due
man.
to a mistaken identification, errors in decision-making, and an attack contrary to the standard operating procedures.
Yeah, I don't know what
2
aftershocks are,
Israeli
man.
officers were fired and 3
Yo, what
senior
is this?
officers were reprimanded as a result of the investigation. CBS News senior foreign
Bro.
correspondent Holly Williams is in Tel Aviv with more.
Israel's
Damn.
military says it wrongly believed that a militant was inside
Is that a
one
van build gone wrong, man?
of the world's central
This is a
kitchens
terrible way to build a van right here, man. If you're trying to if you're trying to live in a van, man, do not do this right here. This is not how you want to start a van build right here.
and vehicles. It says after striking that